I wrote an article about that as well, titled Black Magic, Psychic Attacks, Entity Interferences, and Shadow Projections. There's an occult law, the law of rebound. So whatever people project on you, right, in their, be it even unconscious jealousy, envy, or whatever issue they have, comes from their projected shadow, will turn back around to them at some point. It's called the rebound effect, right? So it creates an almost karmic debt for them. So eventually it will come back around. In the sense, anything when we have a triggered response and really go off another person, that can come back around to us at some point in our own lives. These thought projections create thought entities themselves.
Egregores.
So you may experience it. It still may have an effect on you, and it's kind of hurt you as well. That's why we need to have our psychic hygiene up to the game, right? And especially if you feel it during as you said, during a live stream, I would recommend doing some psychic clearing afterwards. Go inside, like kind of almost imagine burning away off all energy, or just kind of like bringing the light from within, expanding externally, and all of that. Take a salt bath, anything, qigong, whatever, energy work, whatever. Take a walk in nature to get you grounded. Right? That's key point. Without that, I would not be able to do the work. Sometimes, take time off social media because we get in these imprints from all these different people's thoughts and consciousness. But it's really important to understand this, what do you call it? The law of rebound, that people will have to deal with whatever their own projection at some point level themselves. I can see it myself. I can see in my, if I become more sensitive to energies based on my unconscious projection in the past, I have seen how these thought projections became entities and came back around to myself, right? Yes, even here's an interesting, let me just share this with you, a great excerpt from Dion Fortune's book, Psychic Self-Defense. She was an occultist around the turn of the century. I can highly recommend the book, Psychic Self-Defense.
Okay.
She writes, it is not every case of psychic disturbance, however, which originates externally. It is a well-known cosmic law that everything moves in circles, and whatever forces we send out and whatever thought forms we extrude from our auras, unless absorbed by the object to which they are directed, will return to us in due course. One of the most effective and also one of the most widely practiced methods of occult defense is to refuse to react to an attack, neither accepting nor neutralizing the forces projected against, and thus turning them back on the sender. We must never overlook the fact that so-called occult attacks or psychic attacks may be evil thought forms returning home to roost. It's the rebound effect. Now, she makes a really important point, and I had to learn this the hard way myself. Whenever people project on us or attack us psychically or even personally online, you have to stay in 0 point, not reacting to the attack, neither accepting, not even defending, like becoming defensive, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
That's the best way to handle it, because these forces, most often working for others, they want to get us a triggered response. They want to engage in a luge fest and argue and get all of that. And it goes nowhere anyway. You cannot convince some anonymous trolls on the internet, right? So they become those vessels for that. They want to create the luge, which just creates the food again for these forces they feed upon. So it is very important. That's why having a basic understanding of occult spiritual warfare, in a sense, and psychic attacks and thought entities and how other people can easily become portals, is very important, especially when you're more in the public arena.